Good morning, first graders. Happy Monday and welcome to day 1 of your at-home learning. Okay, so today you are going to need your Journeys book and you're going to be opening to page 10. On this page, I would like you to go through and read each sight word within a sentence. First, we're going to practice the sight words just like we usually do in class. As I'm reading them, you can follow along and repeat after me. Shall, what word? Noise, what word? Night, what word? Loudly, what word? Window, what word? Few, what word? Story, what word? World, what word? Now let's read them fast. Shall, noise, night, loudly, window, few, story, world. Please now read these words within a sentence to whoever you're working with. When you're done, turn to our story of the week. This week's story is called The Garden. The question we're going to be talking about is what grows in a garden? Today is our first day of being introduced to the story, so I am going to read the story and I would like you to follow along with your finger or the eraser of your pencil. Okay. Please put your finger on the word frog. Frog was in his garden. Toad came walking by. "What a fine garden you have, Frog," he said. "Yes," said Frog, "it is very nice, but it was hard work. I wish I had a garden," said Toad. "Here are some flower seeds. Plant them in the garden," said Frog, "and soon you will have a garden." "How soon?" asked Toad. "Quite soon," said Frog. Toad ran home. Finger on the word he. He planted the flower seeds. "Now, seeds," said Toad, "start growing." Toad walked up and down a few times. The seeds did not start to grow. Ding! Turn the page. Finger on the word toad. Toad put his head close to the ground and said loudly, "Now, seeds, start growing." Toad looked at the ground again. The seeds did not start to grow. Finger on the word toad. Toad put his head very close to the ground and shouted, "Now, seeds, start growing." Frog came running up the path. "What is all this noise?" he asked. "My seeds will not grow," said Toad. "You are shouting too much," said Frog. "These poor seeds are afraid to grow." "My seeds are afraid to grow?" asked Toad. Ding! Turn the page. "Of course," said Frog. "Leave them alone for a few days. Let the sun shine on them. Let the rain fall on them. Soon your seeds will start to grow." Ding! Turn the page. Put your finger on the word that. That night, Toad looked out of his window. "Drat," said Toad. "My seeds have not started to grow. They must be afraid of the dark." Toad went out to his garden with some candles. "I will read the seeds a story," said Toad. "Then they will not be afraid." Toad read a long story to his seeds. Ding! Turn the page. Finger on the word all. All the next day, Toad sang songs to his seeds, and all the next day, Toad read poems to his seeds, and all the next day, Toad played music for his seeds. Toad looked at the ground. The seeds still did not start to grow. "What shall I do?" cried Toad. "These must be the most frightened seeds in the whole wide world." Please put your finger on the word frightened. Say it with me. Frightened. Then Toad felt very tired and he fell asleep. Ding! Put your finger on the word toad. Toad, Toad, wake up, said Frog. Look at your garden. Toad looked at his garden. Little green plants were coming up out of the ground. Ding! Put your finger on the word at. At last, shouted Toad, my seeds have stopped being afraid to grow. And now you will have a nice garden too, said Frog. Yes, said Toad, but you were right, Frog. It was very hard work. Ding! All done. Now you may work on your spelling words and on your reading packet, and tomorrow you will read the story by yourself to your mom or your dad or whoever is reading with you. Happy reading!